Welcome to another edition of Real Talk. It's been a few weeks, man.
Yeah, it's been, what was it?
3 weeks?
End of February, because I
weeks?
think the last one we did was talking about, I think it was talking about us coming out.
Coming out.
So,
the week.
What do you mean?
Week before or 2 weeks before?
Yeah, it would have been in the middle of March, I think.
Yeah. So basically, the time in between we've had since the last episode of Real Talk, if you add that time onto now, you'll have seen Avengers.
Exactly.
Which is crazy.
Which, also, I just got my Avengers Endgame tickets yesterday.
I saw that, man. IMAX.
No, I got regular.
IMAX all day.
I like to not go overboard with my first viewing. I like to go simple. If I love it, then I'll watch it again in IMAX.
Fair enough, man.
Which is something that I am tempted to do with Us, which is go see it again.
Yeah.
Should we just dive right
Let's
into
go straight into it. So here is our review of Jordan Peele's second film as a horror connoisseur, really.
Yeah,
Because he's really showed that with Get Out anyway, didn't he?
And he's really, I think, the great thing about Jordan Peele is that his movies have a lot of nuances behind it. Well, his movies, I mean, these two movies have a lot of nuances. With Get Out, there was the idea of this big horror movie with a little bit of comedy, with a bit of drama, with a bit of family drama, talking about, a lot of racial themes, a lot of sexual themes.
It's a film on like the horrifying natures of racism, really.
Yeah, I mean, and there's nothing wrong with it. And I'm on the side of being okay with him saying, "Look, I'm probably never going to cast a white guy as my lead."
He has said that. Yeah.
And we see this with Us because Lupita Nyong'o and Duke Winston, I believe
Winston
that's his name.
Duke.
Winston Duke, other way around.
Yeah.
Winston Duke, and we have a lot of other big. Not big name actors, but a lot of big, great actors. Like, the kids in this film are great.
Awesome.
And we won't, we can tell them, I guess, what the plot is, but I mean, if you go into this blind as possible, that's better for you.
That's the best way,
Yeah, that's how
isn't
you
it?
went in, right? You didn't know too much about it.
Yeah, I didn't know too much other than it was a film about doppelgangers, really. The doppelganger element was the most horrifying thing. And he said that he came up with this idea for a doppelganger film because he used to be really scared going to sleep at night at the thought of himself looking
It's
at
brilliant.
himself.
I mean, the concept of having your clone self meet you is very Hitchcock-esque almost, which is that's his most common comparison.
And
really,
it's a pretty untouched market as well. The doppelganger genre has been pretty non-existent in our lifetimes, hasn't it?
Last one I was thinking of is The Island with Ewan McGregor.
The Island, and then
that.
Enemy as well with Denis Villeneuve.
I'm not seeing. Oh, Enemy! No, of course, Jake Gyllenhaal. Yeah. And this movie really is a character study of who we are underneath the surface, who we are as humans, and it's
on the class system.
It's also a scary movie. It is scary at times. Now, I know for you loved this movie.
Yeah, I adored it,
and I liked it a lot. I pretty much love Get Out, and I appreciate what Jordan Peele has done. I don't believe this is as good as Get Out, personally, but it is very, very, very much so worth watching. And I recommend people going to watch this with really an eagle eye. Don't overanalyze everything you're watching, but
definitely on the first showing, don't.
Yeah, of course, because there's a lot going on.
You'll just try and ruin it for yourself. You're trying to suss too much out, sort of thing.
So what do you think of the performances? Because I know you had some high praise for one actress.
Yeah, Lupita Nyong'o. Holy, that word. Just crazy performance. To have like polar opposites in terms of the doppelganger and the character that she plays for the majority of the film, for the beginning of the film, that you as a viewer are tied to and see as a genuinely good person, is just crazy. There's shots where the camera's panning from the doppelganger to the normal version of herself, and stark contrast in looks and emotions
it's
on a face.
incredible facial acting. I mean, we've had this talk about how important it is to have facial acting. So if we look at Tom Hardy, for example, in
Tom
Dunkirk,
Hardy, Gosling.
Gosling. Even this is going to sound like a really weird comparison, but if you look at even Robert Downey Jr. As Iron Man, when it's just his face acting, and
he embodies that character now.
What Nyong'o and even Winston Duke and what even the kids doppelgangers do. It's
the
amazing.
little girl in that movie is unbelievable.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember the kids' names at all, but well done to them. And I feel actually upset that I don't know their names.
Just in terms of
great,
like you touched on the importance of facial expressions and like acting from like the neck upwards. That is such a big deal for Jordan Peele as well. Like when you look at Daniel Kaluuya's performance, that hypnosis scene.
Yeah, you just see his eyes. That's all you see, right?
That was the bit in the audition that won him the role. Just how he could do that single tear thing and keep his like a lot of the actors, Lupita Nyong'o, they can keep their eyes open for it seems like hours.
It's weird saying it, but when you watch the movie, you're able to see all these certain nuances of acting being done right in front of you, and it's outstanding. Now I don't know for sure at the end of the year if I'm going to say Lupita Nyong'o, she should be nominated. But right now, I'm willing to say she definitely needs to be.
We're only just getting into April now, but for me, that is performance of the year, man or woman.
It reminds me a lot of Hereditary's Toni Collette.
100%. 100%.
There's so many moments where you look at this woman as a motherly figure. I mean, we're comparing this to Toni Collette as a motherly figure who's able to portray a horrendous side while also being able to portray a loving, caring mother.
That's what is terrifying. The same way that Hereditary was terrifying because anyone could really envision everyone has a mother, like hopefully, or has had a mother and has had that experience of being brought up in a family environment, and just the thought of the mother going insane or showing this vicious side that you haven't seen. And there are, when you watch it again, having seen the ending and what the grand scale of the film means for all characters, when you see the way that the kids look at Lupita Nyong'o and just it is really terrifying.
I personally, I would almost hope to say it's a complete horror film.
I'm really trying hard not to spoil things.
It's hard. Yeah. But this movie, and it's the same thing
that goes
horror. It's a psychological thriller. That's what I mean. I will classify it as a horror film. I would, because it does have the elements.
The most horrifying thing, which is the same as Hereditary, it's like how far humans will go. Well, not necessarily for Hereditary, but how far humans will go to protect their own and to get out of a difficult situation.
Get out. I saw what you did there.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
It's
what would you do to make a better life for yourself and your family?
And what's really this movie harkens back to a Clockwork Orange psychological thriller, even Psycho, staying on Hitchcock.
Yeah.
And if you're able to analyze this film from maybe not your normal film goer, maybe if you're more of a film purist, a film junkie, and you're able to see how Peele is really able to nail the psychological elements, where he's able to get into your head. Although I do have a couple problems, which I'll get into in a second. They're not overboard problems. They didn't ruin the film, but he does a fantastic job of subtly planting in your mind certain things where you leave the film and you're like, damn. That thing has really stuck with me, but does this mean this? And
it's lines in the movie that kind of foreshadow where it goes, and even the beginning, like I can say this because it won't mean anything to anyone who hasn't seen the film yet, but the whole essence of the film is in the first 5 minutes. Even when you're watching the credits,
100%.
Like, you could watch that first 5 minutes having seen the film, and that explains the whole story for you. It really does.
But this is also another important thing where you're able to look at this movie as a first-time watcher. You're able to enjoy it. Go back a second time, you're able to delve even more into it, which you're able to do.
It's an educational experience the second time watching it. And the amazing thing that Peele does, which he definitely didn't do in Get Out, there was a clear barrier between what's good and what's evil. In this, you empathise with
the evil,
every character, what is perceived as evil, because I'm really not going to spoil it, but you thoroughly understand the actions of both sides, and you really do. Especially watching that second time, Damian. You just
I understand completely.
You could arguably look at it in a reverse mind and look at who.
Are the good people really bad? Are the bad people actually the good people?
Exactly.
And it does mess with you. Now, this is where my problem comes in with the movie. And this isn't me nitpicking. I know actually I'm pretty much in the minority with this. We were talking about a few of these psychological elements that, and these twists and turns that Jordan Peele has in these films. Because, I mean, you look at Get Out, and I thought we expected some twists, and then there were some things that just blew our mind.
Yeah.
With Us, there was a few twists where I thought, okay, I like that. Then there were some that really took me, not out of the movie, but instead of making me enjoy what I was watching, kind of took away from my enjoyment of, I don't know, like sitting in the moment watching it. Because I thought to myself, well, in my head, that doesn't line up with that. Or maybe because this movie it does have so many Easter eggs, and not Easter eggs in the sense of like
clues.
MCU, but clues that can help you delve into the movie more. Personally, some of the clues that they had there, I was like, okay, I can go with that. And there was some that just simply didn't work for me. I think this can be a person-to-person thing where I know you and I chatted about them.
I think it's one of them. Definitely give it one more try. I think you'll respect it more. I'm not going to say you're going to like it more, but I think you'll understand why certain things are done. One of the only problems I have, which you definitely agreed with the first time we watched it together, was the heavy comedy in it. There was a lot of unnecessary comedy.
There was a lot of undercutting moments where
it broke up the dramatic scenes.
And there are times where I'm like, oh, he meant to do that, and then there's times where I was like, did he mean for that to be that awkward? That Jordan Peele, I'm meaning with the writing. And this comes from him, obviously, doing a lot of Key and Peele, a lot of those comedy elements.
That's his background.
And it worked in Get Out, and this is what I mean
but it felt a bit more forced in this one.
Yeah, it did. And I've got to give props to Jordan Peele, because now he's made the easiest Halloween costume ever with the red jumpsuit. And
he really has.
So, I mean, thank you very much for making my life easier.
And that's another thing that he's done. He's created a new horror icon for a new generation, which he did he do in Get Out? Maybe not.
No, I mean, that
was a classic within its own right. Whereas in this one, when he said this is a full-on horror movie, he's made like an iconic moment or an iconic image in the horror genre that's going to last forever.
Yes, easily. And although I did kind of like say that the Easter eggs took me out of the film, no matter what though, when you see the visuals, when you see the camera work, when you see
he knows how to work an audience. He is clearly a fan of not just the horror genre, because he obviously is, but of cinema in general.
I mean, his love for it bleeds through, and it's great. And it's great that he's also getting, I mean, Lupita Nyong'o and Winston Duke. Obviously, they're not really huge names. Nyong'o's a big name now, but I mean, it's great to see him utilizing smaller actors for big roles, because there's also the family.
He's giving actors their big break. He's putting a lot of faith in people that haven't had faith in before.
The daughter the girl that plays the kid version of Lupita Nyong'o, first acting role she's ever had. That was her first film. And I think once you watch the movie and you're able to see a lot of her expressions,
very good.
He is giving these opportunities, and I don't think this necessarily has to do anything with the film quality, but it shows him as a filmmaker.
He has a great eye for talent.
Yeah. So
Nyong'o, that's her first lead role. Ever as well, which is absolute madness.
She's been a big side character. I mean, she plays side character roles brilliantly, I think. But I mean,
the fact that he saw that within her. You know, when you're watching Black Panther, as an audience member, you might not think that she'd be capable of producing something like that in the future.
And I thought she was great for being able to carry this film, because she does carry this movie at times.
It's her film. The whole film is based around
she's
her
the main character without a single doubt. As she's the main actress.
Her character is so important in the grand scheme of what's happening in the universe in that film, because he sets up like a universe that can definitely be expanded on if he wants to in future films. I don't think he needs to, but
so I mean, walking away from this movie, I was not disappointed at all. I thought it was another really good horror flick from Jordan Peele, and I think that going into the future, I would really like to see him both continue these kind of movies, but also I'm on the other side of the corner. I'm like, I don't know what he can do differently. Maybe a full-on comedy. Maybe
he said after Get Out, he had 4 social political thrillers ready. So that was the second one. So he's got 3 more now, and they're each going to cover a different topic or a different problem in today's world.
And this one really talks about people under the skin, what our mentality, what our psychological states are, and props to him because he did such a good job of that.
And again, like I said before, like what people would do to get a better life, you know, there's always going to be someone above you, but there's always going to be someone below you, and either way there's going to be people clawing to get upwards in the world, and they will literally do anything if that opportunity arose. So.
And Alice has some great acting in it too, so all that combined together makes for a really entertaining movie. So I recommend this movie to you so much that I can't wait to see what he does next.
100%. So that is it for our Us review. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you stick around for future reviews. We got Pet Sematary coming out soon.
Pet Sematary tomorrow, April 5th. And also we have our Captain Marvel review, which is going to drop along with this. And obviously Real Talk. So make sure you guys subscribe and go to us on Twitter at Real Talk Keys.
Exactly. Thank you so much, guys.
No problem. See you guys later.